Your personal information was probably stolen this year, and you had no idea. Since the dawn of the internet, criminals have come up with cunning ways to access personal and secretive information to harm you, whether it be through extortion or even espionage. And it may not have been stolen in the way you think it was. In this video, we are going to explore the 3 largest hacks of not just 2024, but ever recorded. This is the Cyber Files. On January 12th of 2024, a series of unusual activities were detected within Microsoft's internal systems. This led to Microsoft discovering unauthorized access to the company's email accounts of top-level executives. They also detected unanticipated data transfers within the internal network. And upon inspection, Microsoft's worst nightmare came to life. It's highly suspected that everything from the company's finances to projects to even software infrastructure was breached. And if you use Microsoft 365 for your job or even your business, it's quite possible that your data is just as vulnerable. This file is called the Midnight Blizzard. The attack was carried out by Nobelium, a state-sponsored group of Russian hackers, and these guys are no joke. They have a history of targeting government agencies, private companies, and organizations to access sensitive political and business information. They're the same group responsible for SolarWinds, the name given to the largest cyber attack in history. Nobelium discovered a vulnerability within Microsoft Office 365 and Azure cloud services. This could have involved weaknesses in authentication mechanisms, access control, or specific flaws in the cloud-based tools. Although Microsoft's team quickly responded once it was discovered, it was already too late. Some reports indicate that the hackers were already inside for several months before being detected. And the scariest part of it all is that we don't even know what they're going to do with this information, let alone have already done. It's already December 2024 at the time of making this video, so a lot could have happened. However, it is highly believed that the group is associated with Russia's Foreign Intelligence Service, and therefore, it's safe to assume that they want to use the stolen data to further their objectives by enabling espionage, launching attacks, or manipulating political and business decisions. And the question still remains, what was their ultimate goal in doing this? While the full scope of the breach is still being investigated, the exposure of high-level executive communications and business intelligence is a serious concern, and its ramifications could unfold over time as the breach continues to be analyzed. The hack has already caused massive disruption within Microsoft, and now, the company faces not only rebuilding trust, but protecting millions of users from the fallout. As we await further details, one thing is clear. The Midnight Blizzard is far from over. On April 19th of 2024, AT&T discovered that customer data was illegally downloaded on a third-party platform called Snowflake. Snowflake is a cloud-based software that companies use to store and share large volumes of data. They have clients in everything from finance to retail and even healthcare, making them a prime target for hackers. According to an AT&T spokesperson, nearly all of AT&T's customers' phone numbers, along with the records of calls and texts, was stolen during the 6-month period between May 1st, 2022 and October 31st, 2022. That's 109 million people. Okay, I know what you're thinking. This breach happened in 2022. So why is it in this video about 2024 hacks? Well, this incident was only reported on July 12th of this year because of SEC laws regarding quote-unquote public safety. Yeah, okay. However, I wanted to bring it to your attention because it is the largest American telecom breach in history. It's also important to note that the hack didn't obtain the context of those calls and texts, nor any personal data, but there are tools online available to the public where anybody can find the names associated with those phone numbers, which is probably what followed after. This isn't the first time AT&T's customer data has been stolen either. It also happened in 2014, 2015, and 2020. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stick with Verizon. The breach is believed to have been carried out by a cybercriminal group named Shiny Hunters, who are notorious for hacking high-profile companies and leaking or selling stolen data on the dark web. Other companies where Shiny Hunters may have stolen your information may have been from some of their previous hacks, including Nintendo, Facebook, and Pixar. No, not the cute Disney animation movies. While the exact technical methods of the attack remain unclear, Shiny Hunters likely used a combination of exploiting vulnerabilities, phishing, social engineering, and data exfiltration to hack AT&T along with other companies mentioned. But why did they go after AT&T? My personal guess is that they're looking to access personal information on top government officials. And that's because AT&T has huge contracts with the Department of Homeland Security, Department of Defense, and local and state public officials. As of 2024, the investigation into the 2022 hack is still ongoing. AT&T has confirmed the breach, but has not provided any further details about the full extent of the attack. Nor have they disclosed a final resolution or even made public any concrete updates on the status of the investigation. And finally, for number 3, we have the Change Healthcare hack. Change Healthcare is a healthcare technology company which processes payments and claims for medical professionals, such as doctors, dentists, hospitals, and even pharmacists. Now, you may not have heard of them before, but I'm pretty sure you have heard about their parent company, United Health Group, given the latest headlines. Yeah, they're a pretty big deal. In fact, they handle $15 billion of transactions daily. They also work with Aetna, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and Cigna, which actually makes them process 50% of all claims in the US. You know what they say, careful not to have all your eggs in one basket, because as you'll see later in this video, everything can scramble out of control. Sorry for the bad dad joke. Anyway, it has become the largest data breach ever in the healthcare industry. This is the CHOPS breach. On Wednesday, February 21st, Change Healthcare began receiving reports of connectivity issues. Lo and behold, you guessed it, they realized that they had been hacked. According to the United Health Group CEO Andrew Whitty, the hacker group was able to obtain an employee's login credentials. From there, the bad actors used stolen credentials to log into an application to remotely access desktops. The company first responded by shutting down its systems completely, but it only caused more problems. Pharmacists couldn't fill prescriptions, individuals couldn't make health claims, and hospitals even had to halt important procedures. Imagine being a severe diabetic and not being able to get insulin, or your loved one who needs emergency open heart surgery but can't get operated on because the hospital has no access to replenishing important tools for the procedure. Putting innocent people's lives at risk is pure evil, and in my opinion, makes this the worst hack of 2024. But the health risk isn't all that was compromised. Everything from contact information to health data, like ID numbers, doctors they use, and even diagnoses. They even got a hold of people's social security numbers. What's worse is that the hackers could use this information to target individuals and exploit them for even more money. Sadly, this is the reality for the 100 million individuals affected by this hack. Nonetheless, Change Healthcare paid Black Cat $350 in Bitcoin to delete the data that they had stolen so it doesn't get shared anywhere else, like the dark web. That equals out to a whopping $22 million US. And the worst part is that the information is probably already on the dark web, so the 22 million may have not even solved anything. Almost as if they just flushed 22 million down the drain. But what other choice did they have? After about a month of halted functionality, Change Healthcare is back online as of March 8, 2024. However, this has only started another wave of insane expenses for the company, from restoring critical systems about their brand, offering assistance through its temporary funding assistance program, and lawsuits. The total cost of Change Healthcare response is now predicted to be anywhere between $2.3 to $2.45 billion this year. And that's not even counting next year. Victims of the breach haven't even been able to submit claims yet to recover out-of-pocket expenses and other losses incurred, and it is likely that it will be a while until they can do so. This cyber attack highlights the significant risks associated with companies becoming too dominant in the healthcare sector. In 2022, the Justice Department and Attorneys Generals of Minnesota and New York filed legal challenges to prevent United Health Group's acquisition of Change Healthcare, citing concerns about the negative impact on competition in health insurance markets. Following the cyber attack, there has been widespread criticism of United Health Group's anti-competitive practices, particularly regarding the creation of a single point of failure that could lead to widespread disruption in healthcare across the United States. Thanks for tuning in to my channel. If you stayed to the end and enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to see more content like this. Also, comment below what types of videos you would like to see more of.